Did you catch that? Here, I'll show it to you again. That's right, it's Port Everglades. Hi everybody, it's Hunter from Two Old Men at Heart, and today I'm going to give you a complete tour of Port Everglades. So you're going on a cruise vacation. Congratulations! That's one of my absolute favorite things to do. I love going on a cruise. And you are leaving and probably coming back to Port Everglades. It's in the Fort Lauderdale area of southern Florida. And so today I'm going to give you a little tour of what you need to know when you're going to Port Everglades. So one of the first things I do the morning of embarkation is I take a look at the Port Everglades website. This is what it is, porteverglades.net. They made that very easy for you. And I wish the day we were embarking on our most recent vacation, they had this little pop-up at the top of the website. That would have been very helpful because we encountered quite a bit of traffic. There is very heavy traffic near the port because the Fort Lauderdale Broward County Convention Center is right outside the port. And so this is very helpful, telling you to maybe try and take a different approach to getting to Port Everglades. But this website is full of great information for you, but I'm going to show you one thing that is really important. So if you come down here, scroll past the video, you see there's a Holland America Line ship right there. You come down, scroll past the video, and you have a number of links right here in the middle of the page. Go to Ship Schedule. And here is how you find out where your ship is going to be docked, which terminal your ship is going to be docked at. It's very helpful information to know before you get to the port. Of course, you can find out at the port, and we're going to talk about that a little later, but it's very helpful to know this information before you get to the port. So let's take a look. Very early this morning, I'm recording this on March 8th, 2025. Very early this morning at 100 hours and 46 minutes. So that was 12:46 a.m. They had a ship arriving. It was a cargo ship, not a cruise ship. So we're going to go down here. You can see this is the date and time. This is the ship name. And this is its status, arrival, departure. So we're going to scroll down, and you can see the cruise ships started coming in at 4:42 this morning, arrival. The Celebrity Eclipse from sea to, here's your most important part, where it's going. This is the terminal, Terminal 19, which is actually the terminal we embarked from when we went on our most recent cruise. And then the Sun Princess followed at 4:59 a.m., 5:27 a.m., the Oasis of the Seas, and then 5:46 a.m. arrival, the Holland America Line New Statendam. And it is at Terminal 26. And if you keep scrolling down, you can see their scheduled departures. So let's see here. The first one is going to be at 3 p.m. today, departing the Sun Princess, leaving from Terminal 2. So you have the information sort of in two spots to look at. And then the New Statendam leaving at 4 o'clock, 1600 hours departure from Terminal 26. This is really great information to know before you head to the port. Getting to Port Everglades from I-95 is actually really simple, and most people are probably coming southbound from the north. There isn't too much farther south of Port Everglades other than Miami and the Keys. So if you're driving to the port on I-95 south, take exit number 26 to I-595 east, and then it's well marked to know which lane to take to get you over to the Port Everglades entrance. I had to include this shot because in this shot you can see it just captures all of the excitement. It's coming up here, you can see the ship, and we are almost there, and I just love the shot so much because we're almost on vacation. But remember I said we encountered a lot of traffic? Here was the beginning of it. This was the split where Highway 1 splits off to go to Fort Lauderdale, and then you go left to Port Everglades. Okay, so remember when I said there are multiple entrances to Port Everglades. Here's a map. This is just Google Maps. This is I-95 right over here. You can see my mouse moving toward the left side of the screen. I-595 is the way I said that most people come in. It's probably the largest entrance. And then you come over here and you'll get off I-95. This is where it splits with Highway 1. And you'll go to the Port Everglades Expressway And then here you can see this is the checkpoint, the security checkpoint. We're going to talk more about that in a second. But there are other ways to get to Port Everglades as well. You can come in from this one. This is Southwest 24th Street, also known as Highway 84. And it'll bring you over here this way, and then you'll connect with Eisenhower Boulevard, and Eisenhower Boulevard will take you straight into Port Everglades. You can also come in from Southeast 17th Street in Fort Lauderdale, connect to Eisenhower Boulevard, and come straight in. There are checkpoints at all of these entrances. When you come across the bridge to that main entrance, you'll see this sign. Just keep in mind, all of the lanes there will access all of the cruise terminals. So you can pick any of them and get through the security checkpoint and then figure out which lane you need to go to get to your specific cruise terminal. If you didn't check ahead of time, these electronic billboards are at all of the entrances to Port Everglades. They will let you know what terminal your ship is at and where the parking garages are. We caught sight of the Eurodam as we were entering, but if you don't take anything else away from this video, take this away. Make sure you have your ID, whether it's your driver's license or passport, and your cruise documents ready when you're driving into the port. They will stop you and ask you to see your ID, and they might ask you to see your boarding pass. That's why we print them. I always keep them in the glove box, so when we get to Port Everglades, I can pull them out and show them right then.
Good.
Weapons?
No.
Where are you headed?
Eurodam.
Eurodam. Let me see your license or your passport.
Yes.
Have it ready at the booth. She's waiting for you, okay?
Good.
Okay, you can let down this window for me, please. Which terminal are you going to today?
Eurodam 19.
Alright, is the back unlocked?
Is it unlocked? Unlock it. Yep. Should be unlocked.
Should be open.
You said 19?
Eurodam, yeah.
Any weapons?
Nope.
Alrighty, thank you. Drive safe.
Thanks. Once you are through the gate, that's when you can switch lanes if you need to get to the right cruise terminals. And you see there the logos, Heron, Palm, and Snook, are the names for the parking garages. There we can see the Eurodam. That's where we're going to call home for the next 11 days. You can see a parking lot there, but then we parked in the parking garage. This was the Palm parking garage. And once you're inside the parking garage, there's even, you can see it right there in the top of the screen, directions to which area best to park for the terminal that you're going to be sailing out of. Now, keep in mind that the terminal that you sail out of may not be the same terminal you come back to. But what they try to do is they try to have that in mind when they're telling you where to park, so that way you're still, close enough to the same parking garage. You don't have a very long walk to go. There you can see those signs for which way to go to park depending on which terminal you're going to. It was a Saturday when we were parking, so it was pretty full. We finally found a parking spot, and then it's finally time to unpack the car. Make sure you take a picture of where your car is so you don't forget when you come back in 11 days and figure out where you're going so you can find your car. And now we're going to take the elevator down, and there's our ship right there. And this is a look at the parking rates for Port Everglades. This is inside the Palm parking garage. I imagine it's the same price no matter where you're parking at Port Everglades. Make sure you have your parking ticket stub with you. You have that somewhere readily available when you're getting back from your cruise and you're coming back to the car, so you can pay for your parking before you leave, so that way you can just go straight out of the parking garage and then you can be on your way home.